My name is Emily Carter. I'm 31, and 8 months ago, I gave birth to twins in a hospital room in Nashville, Tennessee. A boy and a girl. My husband Ryan was holding my hand when it happened, and for about 4 hours, it was the best day of my life. Then my mother-in-law walked in. Her name is Patricia Carter. Ryan's father died when Ryan was 17, and after that, Patricia raised him and his younger sister, Kayla, alone. She never let either of them forget it. Every holiday, every phone call, every visit came with a quiet reminder of everything she'd sacrificed. Ryan called it guilt with a bow on it. I just called it exhausting. Kayla was 34, and had been trying to have a baby for 6 years. 2 miscarriages, 1 failed adoption that fell through at the last minute. I felt for her, genuinely. I'd cried with her on the phone more than once. I had no idea that while I was in labor, Patricia was in the hospital hallway telling my own mother, "It's not fair that Emily gets 2 and Kayla gets none." My mother repeated that to me weeks later. At the time, I laughed it off. I should have listened closer. Because Patricia wasn't joking, and she wasn't finished. The twins came home. We named them Wesley and Nora. For 2 weeks, life was chaos in the best way. Bottles, no sleep, Ryan pacing the hallway at 3 a.m. singing off-key to get Nora back down. Patricia visited every few days. At first, it seemed normal. Grandmothers do that. But her visits had a pattern. She'd hold Nora the longest. She'd say things like, "Kayla would be so good at this," or, "It's a shame one baby has to share you with a sibling." I told Ryan it was making me uncomfortable. He said that's just how his mom talks, that she didn't mean anything by it. I wanted to believe him. 3 weeks after the twins were born, Patricia asked Ryan and me to come to Sunday dinner. Kayla was there too, sitting very straight, hands folded like she'd rehearsed something. Patricia set down her fork and said, "Ryan, Emily, we want to talk to you about something serious." I remember glancing at Ryan. He looked as confused as I felt. Patricia continued. "You have 2 babies. Kayla has none. We think the right thing, the family thing, is for you to let Kayla raise Nora." The room went silent. I actually thought I'd misheard her. "I'm sorry, what?" Kayla leaned forward. "I'd love her like my own, Emily. She'd still see you. She'd know who you are." I looked at Ryan, waiting for him to shut this down immediately. He didn't say a word. And that silence told me something I wasn't ready to hear. "No," I said. Flat. Final. "Absolutely not." Patricia's face hardened. "You're being emotional. Think about it logically. Kayla's tried everything. You have to. It evens things out." "She is not a spare," I said. "She's my daughter." Ryan finally spoke. "Mom, maybe we should just." "Just what?" I turned to him. "Just think about it. Not decide anything tonight." His voice was careful, measured, the voice he used when he was trying not to upset his mother. I felt something crack open in my chest. My own husband couldn't say no to his mother about giving away our child. I stood up. "We're leaving." Patricia's voice followed us to the door. "You'll regret being so selfish, Emily. Family helps family." In the car, I turned to Ryan. "Why didn't you say no?" "I didn't say yes. You didn't say no, either." My hands were shaking. "Ryan, your mother just asked us to give away our daughter, and you told her to let you think about it." He rubbed his face. "I just didn't want a fight at dinner." "Of course we're not doing it, Em. Come on." I wanted to believe that too. I really did. But over the next 2 weeks, I noticed something that made my stomach turn. Patricia wasn't backing down. She was just getting quieter about it. Patricia started showing up unannounced. Twice she let herself in with the spare key Ryan had given her years ago, before I even knew she still had it. I found her in the nursery once, holding Nora, humming to her, while Wesley cried alone in his bassinet 10 feet away. "You didn't hear me knock," she said, not looking up. I took Nora from her arms without a word. I told Ryan we needed the locks changed. He hesitated, actually hesitated, before agreeing. Then came the day that changed everything. I'd stepped into the shower for maybe 10 minutes while Ryan was at work and the twins were napping. When I came out, the nursery door was open. The bassinets were empty. I found Patricia in the driveway, buckling Nora into a car seat that wasn't ours. Kayla was already in the passenger seat. Wesley was still inside, thank God, still asleep in his crib. "What are you doing?" My voice came out somewhere between a scream and a whisper. Patricia turned around, completely calm. "Kayla just wants to spend the afternoon with her. Bonding time. You'll get her back tonight. Get her back." I was already moving toward the car. "She is not on loan, Patricia. Give me my daughter." "Emily, you're overreacting." I reached the car and pulled Nora out of the seat. Patricia grabbed my arm, hard enough to leave a mark, trying to pull her back. "Let go of me," I said. She didn't. I had one hand wrapped around my daughter and another woman's hand digging into my arm. And in that moment, I made a decision that would end my relationship with this family for good. I didn't scream. I didn't argue anymore. I pulled Nora fully into my arms, turned, and walked straight back into the house. Patricia followed, still talking, still explaining how I was being unreasonable, how family was supposed to share. I set Nora safely in her crib next to her brother. Then I picked up my phone and called 911. "She's exaggerating," Patricia said when the dispatcher asked me to describe what happened. "We're family." "Family doesn't take your child out of the house without permission," I said, loud enough for the phone to catch it. "Family doesn't grab your arm when you try to stop them." Patricia's face went white. Kayla, still sitting in the car outside, must have realized what was happening, because by the time the police arrived 12 minutes later, she'd already driven off. The officers were calm and professional. They took my statement, photographed the bruise forming on my forearm, and asked Patricia directly whether she had taken the baby outside without my consent. She tried to soften it. "I was just going to bring her right back." "That's still removing a minor from the home, without the parents' permission," the officer said. "And this looks like it may rise to assault, given the injury to Mrs. Carter's arm." Patricia was not arrested that day, but a report was filed, and I was told exactly how to pursue a restraining order if I wanted one. I wanted one. When Ryan got home and I told him everything, I expected him to finally, completely take my side. What he said instead nearly ended our marriage. Ryan stood in the kitchen, still in his work clothes, staring at the bruise on my arm like he couldn't process it. "She grabbed you. Hard enough to leave a mark, Ryan." "She had Nora in someone else's car." He sat down slowly. For a long moment he said nothing, and I watched him struggling with it. 31 years of never disappointing his mother, colliding head-on with what was sitting right in front of him. "I'll talk to her," he finally said. "No." I sat across from him. "You don't get to talk to her. Ryan, I am filing for a restraining order tonight. Your mother does not get access to our children until a judge says she's allowed to, and even then, supervised only. That's not a discussion. That's what's happening." He flinched. "She's my mother, Em. And Nora and Wesley are our children. I need to know which one you're choosing, because I can't keep doing this halfway." I watched something shift in his face. Maybe it was the bruise. Maybe it was finally hearing it said that plainly. "Okay," he said quietly. "Okay. File it. I'll back you." I filed the emergency protective order the next morning. 2 weeks later, at the hearing, Patricia tried to explain it away as a misunderstanding between family. The judge did not see it that way. The order was granted. No contact, no unsupervised visits, effective immediately, pending a full hearing regarding grandparent access. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Because 3 weeks later, Patricia tried one more time, and this time she brought a lawyer. Patricia filed for grandparent visitation rights, arguing she'd been unfairly cut off. Kayla submitted a statement too, insisting she'd never intended to keep Nora, only to spend time with her. Ryan and I hired an attorney. We didn't need to dig for evidence. Patricia had handed it to us herself. The 911 call. The police report. The bruise, photographed and documented. Text messages Patricia had sent Ryan over the years, including one from the week before the incident that said, in writing, that Kayla deserved one of those babies more than Emily deserved both. Our attorney read that one twice in the deposition, just to make sure the record was clear. The hearing lasted 1 day. The judge was blunt. Grandparent visitation exists to preserve healthy relationships, not to reward someone who had attempted to remove a child from her parents' home without consent. Patricia's petition was denied. The existing protective order was extended for 2 years, with the option to renew. Patricia was also formally charged with simple assault for the incident in the driveway. She pled to a lesser charge, paid a fine, and completed a court-mandated program. It wasn't prison. It didn't need to be. What mattered to me was the paper trail, the permanent, legal record that said, clearly, what she had tried to do. Kayla never faced criminal charges, but the judge's written ruling named her role plainly: present, complicit, and driving away from a scene involving a child taken without consent. The court case ended in October. What happened in our living room 3 months later mattered a lot more to me. We didn't see Patricia or Kayla again after the ruling. Ryan sent one final message to his mother, not cruel, just honest, telling her that the door would stay closed until she could say, without qualifications, that she understood what she'd done wrong. He never got a reply. I won't pretend it didn't cost him something. Some nights I'd find him staring at old photos of the 3 of them from before his dad died. Grief and anger don't cancel each other out. They just sit next to each other. But he never once suggested we go back to how things were. He kept showing up, to the pediatrician appointments, to 3 a.m. feedings, to the hard conversations I needed him to actually finish instead of talking around. In January, we had the twins' first birthday. Small gathering, just a few close friends, balloons taped crookedly to the wall because Ryan insisted on doing it himself. I sat on the couch with Wesley on one knee and Nora on the other, and Ryan crouched down in front of us with the cake. "You okay?" he asked, the way he always does now, actually asking, actually waiting for the answer. I looked at my 2 kids, safe, together, mine. "Yeah," I said. "I really am." Patricia never got the chance to split my family in 2. Kayla never